Hi everyone, so today we're going to have another go at working with MIT's App Inventor. As soon as we get up to the setup page and we've clicked, well, let's just go through that again, setup number 3, we get to this page, go to the start section and just click on the first link that you see. You'll be asked to log into your email account, Gmail account, don't forget your password, and in we go. Now, we're going to start a new project today called randomImage. And what this is going to do, we're basically going to be clicking on a picture, and every time we click on the picture, we find a different picture. Okay? If that doesn't make sense, it will soon. Okay. So the first thing I need is a canvas. And I want my canvas to be 200 pixels wide and 200 pixels high. There we go. I don't want it to be on the left side of the screen, so I'm just going to click on screen, align horizontal, center. Brilliant. Now on my canvas I want some animation, which is going to be an image sprite. And that image sprite is going to be, you've guessed it, 200 pixels wide by 200 pixels high. That's right. There it is. It doesn't really look... It's not... I just want it to go into the top corner there. It's not going to do it. How can I fix that? Let's go to properties of my image sprite. Properties. The x coordinate. Let's make that 0. And let's make sure the y coordinate is 0. Brilliant. There we go. That's perfect. Now then, what I want to do is put a picture of a cute little character into this image sprite. So I'm going to go to Illustrator. I'm going to start a new print document. I'm going to make the width 200 pixels and the height 200 pixels. That's right. Today's magic number is 200. Okay. We now have this big black square. This is my drawing area. Control minus to zoom out and Control plus to zoom in. Let's have a look at some of Illustrator's drawing tools. I'm going to start with shapes. This is the ellipse tool. You can click and drag, and you can see lots of other tools available for us as well. The rectangle, polygon, etc. In fact, in Illustrator, anytime you see a little black corner in an icon, there's one, you can click and drag on that and it will give you some different options. Okay, there's lots of them. There's one there, look, let's see what's in there. Ooh, twirl tool, scallop tool, that's interesting. Well, we'll get there later. Let's go back to the shape tool. I'm just going to choose ellipse. I'm going to click and drag a big circle. Now every shape in Illustrator has two colors. There is a fill color. This one's white. I can change that to red if I want, to a yellow color. I could go for blue. Up to you. Actually, I'm just going to go for very light blue. And there's also a stroke color. At the moment it's black, but I can change that to anything that I want. With the stroke, I can also change how thick it is. There we go. I don't want it to be that thick. Let's just take it back down. And I don't want it to be red, I want it to be black. So we've got fill color and stroke color. Now then, staying with the ellipse tool, let's start to make some eyes. Just going to zoom in. Wow. Do you see those blue dots? 1, 2, 3, 4. You can mess around with those blue dots using the white direct selection tool. The white arrow. And how that works is click a dot, click, and then you can start playing with it. You can drag it, you can kind of twist it around a bit. There's another one, click, just drag, click, and drag. There we go. Control minus, minus. Just going to resize it using the normal selection tool. You can resize it. Just make it a little bit bigger. Maybe just rotate it a little bit. No, let's just Control Z. I don't want to rotate it. That's fine. Now then, back to the ellipse tool. A big pupil. This time, I don't want to have a stroke color. No thank you. But I do want to have a black fill color. And not white, black. There we go. Using the black arrow, I'm just going to resize it, move it into place. Another little trick I learned with drawing eyes is this one. Draw a circle, make it white, a white fill color. Let's just resize that. Drag it just onto the edge of the eye. Just going to make it a bit smaller. In fact, let's look at the eye shape and make that the fill color, not blue this time. Let's make it white. That's it. There you go. That makes quite a nice effect for an eye. Now then, Control C to copy, Control V to paste. Just going to drag that so it's the other way around. I'm going to select the eyes, just Shift to select multiple shapes, Control C to copy, Control V to paste, and there we have it. We've got two eyes. Now it's nose time. I'm going to use the paintbrush with a black color. There's a nose. What do you reckon? Yeah, that's okay. Quite happy with that. And I'm going to make a small mouth. He's not looking very happy. Let's just give him some lines. Oop. Oop. There's no color. What happened to my line color? Control Z, Z, Z. I need a stroke color for lines, so I'm just going to give it a black stroke color. And just make him look like he's just frowning a little bit. That does look a bit strange, doesn't it? Anyway, we'll stay with it. And let's just give him a little bit of hair. Black. With the paintbrush. And that will be about that. Even with strokes, you can mess around with the white arrow, because there's lots of points on those lines. So you can kind of drag them around as you like. So there's my first image. I'm just going to go to File, Save for Web. This allows me to save the picture file, which is a JPEG. So I'm going to save that in my project folder. I've already got some faces. I'm going to call this face 3. That's brilliant. Now, in my Illustrator file, I'm going to just make him look a little bit happier. Let's first of all, let's see if we can do something with his nose. Should we lift it up a bit? Just using the white arrow tool. We'll just make him look like, let's delete that. We don't need that. Big line. And back to the ellipse tool. Yep, okay. No stroke, but I want a red fill. That's it. Into the white arrow. Let's just resize that. Move it. Put it into place. White arrow, I'm just going to change the length of these points. That's better. And let's give him some rosy cheeks as well. So I don't want a stroke color, none. But I do want, oh, that's wrong. That's the stroke color, isn't it? No stroke color, but a pink fill color. It's very strong. We can make that a little bit weaker by changing the opacity. That's great. We'll just make that a little bit smaller. Control C, Control V. Brilliant. Now then, File, Save for Web. And we're going to save that as face number 4. So let's go back to App Inventor, and my image sprite here, I'm going to give it a picture of upload phase 3. And there we have it. Do you remember my image sprite is 200 pixels by 200 pixels, and my Illustrator project is 200 pixels by 200 pixels? If you don't believe me, go to View, Actual Size. That size there, 200 pixels by 200 pixels, is the same as that size there, 200 pixels by 200 pixels. Okay, let's open the blocks editor. This is going to take a couple of moments, so what am I going to talk about while this is opening? I have no idea, but I'll think of something. Ah yes, what we're going to do is, in the blocks editor, we're going to code our little guy here so that he can change his face every time we click on him. Which reminds me, we will need to upload face number 4, because we'll be using that later. So just upload that into your media section. I've now got phase 3 and phase 4. Okay, back to the blocks editor. So what I'm going to say is, my image sprite, when I touch the image sprite, what I'd like to do is change the picture. I'm going to set the image sprite picture to some text, which is, can you remember? I can. face4.jpg. I can only remember because I kept my file names very simple. Well, so when I touch the picture, I'm going to change to phase 4. But what about when I touch the picture when it's phase 4? I want it to be phase 3. And when it's phase 3, I want it to be phase 4. And when it's phase 4, I want it to be phase 3. So this really isn't a good solution at the moment. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the math section, and I'm going to choose a random integer from, let's go to the math section, 1 to 2. Math number 1 to 2. What I'm going to say is, when this random integer is 1, I'm going to use phase 3 or phase 4. And when the random integer is another number, 2, then it's going to be the other phase. So let's just organize this a little bit better. When I call random integer, if it's equal to 1, I'm going to do something. Else, if it's equal to something 2, I'm going to do something else. So let's just have a look at how to do that in App Inventor. We're going to go to Control, if else. I'm just going to whack that into there. So the test of this is if the random integer is equal to 1. So let's just get math equals. If the random integer is equal to a number, which is 1, oops, what have I done? I need all of this to go into here. If the random integer that I generate is equal to 1, then image sprite1.picture is equal to face.4. Else, if that's not true, if random integer doesn't equal 1, this is else, then I'm just going to copy and paste that. I'm going to make that face.3. So have a go, guys. Make a couple of images in Illustrator, and then bring on your App Inventor software, get your code working, make a new emulator, see if you can get it working. Good luck, everybody.